In this video, we'll discuss the properties of a kite. The first property is that two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. When they speak about adjacent sides, it's sides that are next to one another. So let's call AB side 1 and BC side 2. These two are adjacent sides. And the other pair of lines, so from CD to AD, would also be known as adjacent sides. So two pairs of the adjacent sides are equal. So if we show that on the kite, we say that AB is equals to BC, and we showed it with a little line, and that DC is equal to AD. Notice now I'm using two lines to indicate that DC and DA are equal in length. The second property says that longest diagonal bisects the shorter diagonals perpendicularly. So the longer diagonal is the longest line connecting two corners, and the shorter diagonal, can you see, is the shorter line connecting two corners or two angles. So this property is saying that the longest one is bisecting, so it's cutting the shorter one in half, and also it's cutting it perpendicularly, so it will be 90 degrees. So we indicate that as three lines to show that they are cut in half, and a little square to show that that's 90 degrees. So the word perpendicular means 90 degrees. And in geometry, we show 90 degrees with a little right angle. Next, the longest diagonal bisects the angles. So if I take the longest diagonal, bisecting means to cut in half. So it's cutting the angles it's connected to in half. So at the top here, these two angles would be equal in size because this angle is now cut in half by the longer diagonal. And at the bottom, the two angles formed at D would also be equal in size because the angle of D is now cut in half. And the last property says one pair of opposite angles are equal. So clearly we can see here that angle B and D are not equal in size, but one pair, so that's two angles, are equal in size. So the angle of A would be equal to the angle of C. And we can indicate that with a little curve. So I will say angle A is equal to angle C. Now hopefully later you would learn that this small angle here at A would be equal to the one at C in size. And the bottom angle of A, let's mark it with a little square, would be equal in size to the bottom angle at C.